In today's architectural landscape, the meaning of luxury has evolved. No longer tethered to excess or grandeur, true elegance now lies in restraint. Minimal means maximum elegance represents a quiet revolution in design, one where space, light, and materials take center stage. This is the future of luxury living, reimagined with purity and purpose. Minimalism is not about scarcity, it's about clarity. By reducing clutter, both visual and structural, homes gain a calming, intentional rhythm. Clean lines, open floor plans, and unadorned surfaces highlight what truly matters. In these spaces, luxury whispers instead of shouting, delivering peace instead of spectacle. Negative space isn't empty, it's alive with potential. In minimalist design, the spaces between objects are as important as the objects themselves. They invite light, flow, and reflection. These open areas become breathing room for the eye, making every element feel considered, curated, and elevated. Natural light is a key ingredient in minimalist luxury. Expansive windows, skylights, and light wells transform interiors by animating surfaces and shifting moods throughout the day. Designers now treat light as a material, crafting spaces that glow with warmth, vitality, and emotional depth. Minimalist luxury relies on authentic, high-quality materials, marble, wood, stone, and glass used in their purest forms. It's not about ornate finishes, but about celebrating the tactile beauty of surfaces. Every texture has purpose, every finish a story. This is where elegance becomes experiential. Great minimalist design is defined by balance and scale. Walls meet with exacting precision, fixtures align seamlessly, and proportions feel effortlessly right. This level of restraint and symmetry demands technical excellence, but when executed well, it exudes an invisible sophistication that speaks volumes. Minimalism allows homes to become sanctuaries of silence. Free from decorative noise, these spaces are meditative and restful. The absence of distraction cultivates clarity of thought. Luxury in this new era is about feeling mentally and emotionally unburdened, like exhaling in a world that never stops talking. Modern minimalist homes often feature large windows not as decoration, but as frames for nature. The view becomes the art. Trees, sky, and water form a living backdrop that connects interiors to the outside world, fusing elegance with mindfulness and design with life. Open concept layouts aren't just trendy, they're elemental to minimalist luxury. They remove barriers, enhance spatial flow, and emphasize continuity. The architecture supports freedom of movement and thought, while careful zoning maintains intimacy and order without the need for walls or excess furniture. Minimalist luxury doesn't mean colorless. Instead, color is used sparingly and thoughtfully. A neutral palette creates calm, while accents, an ochre chair, a forest green door, a black steel staircase become powerful focal points. Color, like every element here, is chosen with precision. Each piece of furniture in a minimalist luxury home feels sculptural. Nothing is filler. Sofas float, tables anchor, and chairs invite with both comfort and form. Designers often opt for bespoke or iconic pieces that double as functional art, enhancing the space while embodying its spirit. The best minimalist homes are quietly intelligent. Smart lighting, climate control, and audio systems are integrated invisibly. Screens vanish into walls. Speakers blend with ceilings. Here, technology supports lifestyle without dominating the aesthetic, proving that luxury can be both advanced and understated. Clutter is the antithesis of elegance. That's why minimalist luxury homes prioritize integrated storage solutions. Hidden cabinets, built-in drawers, and dual-function elements ensure that every object has a place. The result is a space that feels serene, yet never sterile, organized without sacrificing warmth. Monochromatic spaces possess a quiet strength. By limiting the color range, designers highlight form, texture, and shadow. A white-on-white room, for example, becomes a study in contrast between matte and gloss, soft and hard, natural and refined. It's a minimalist palette with maximal impact. Minimalist doesn't mean cold. The use of warm woods, natural fibers, and soft textiles adds comfort and intimacy. Lighting plays a critical role in softening edges and enhancing depth. When designed with sensitivity, these homes embrace and invite, elevating minimalism into a soulful experience. Every element in a minimalist luxury home earns its place. From faucets to door handles, each detail is considered, often custom designed. The luxury lies in the intentionality. Even the most functional objects become moments of design, adding cohesion, beauty, and purpose throughout the home. Minimalist homes are rooted in geometry. Circles, squares, and clean angles create rhythm and harmony. When arranged with architectural intuition, geometry becomes poetic, offering a visual language that speaks of balance, order, and timeless sophistication. Mass production fades in the world of minimalist elegance. Here, craftsmanship reigns. Whether it's a hand-carved staircase or a perfectly poured concrete wall, the human touch is evident. It's luxury grounded not in rarity, but in mastery, where every detail reflects hours of skilled labor. Minimalist luxury increasingly embraces biophilic design, the integration of nature into the home. Living walls, stone-clad showers, and indoor gardens create a sensory connection to the earth. It's minimalism not as detachment, but as deep connection to natural life and rhythms. Modern elegance must also be ethical. Sustainable materials, energy efficiency, and environmentally conscious design choices are no longer optional. In minimalist luxury, sustainability is baked into the aesthetic, a commitment to longevity, respect, and future-thinking beauty. Trends fade. Timeless design endures. Minimalist luxury avoids fleeting styles in favor of enduring forms and classic materials. This focus on permanence creates homes that feel fresh decades later, living monuments to the principle that restraint is the ultimate sophistication. Minimalist luxury borrows globally, from Japanese Zen to Scandinavian simplicity, yet each home feels personal. Regional materials, local artisans, and cultural sensitivity give these spaces character. The result is a blend of global philosophy and intimate expression, tailored to both place and person. Great minimalist design moves beyond appearance. It creates feeling. A hallway that opens to a wall of sky. A room that seems to breathe with you. These are spaces that ground, uplift, and inspire. The emotional impact is lasting and profound, rooted in spatial intelligence. Minimalist luxury is multisensory. The sound of footsteps on oak floors. The scent of fresh air through a concealed courtyard. The way morning light drapes across concrete. These homes engage every sense, encouraging stillness, focus, and heightened awareness of everyday beauty. Contrast is a minimalist's secret weapon. Dark versus light, rough versus smooth, solid versus void. These oppositions add subtle drama. Carefully executed, they give rooms depth and character without relying on ornamentation. It's a choreography of opposites that elevates the experience of space. Space is the ultimate luxury, not just square footage but breathable space, uncluttered, open, and fluid. Minimalist homes value this highly. They allow moments of pause, of solitude, of openness. It's a design philosophy that gives residents the most precious gift: room to be. Even in dense cities, minimalist elegance thrives. Micro apartments with intelligent design, rooftop gardens, and clever zoning prove that minimalism adapts beautifully. The ethos isn't limited to sprawling estates. It brings beauty, calm, and clarity even to compact urban footprints. Minimalist luxury matures with grace. Materials develop patina, light patterns evolve with the seasons, and personal objects slowly integrate into the aesthetic. These homes are designed to live in, not as showpieces, but as evolving expressions of life, growth, and refined taste. In minimalist architecture, the soul of the home is never buried under decoration. It is revealed. Every beam, every window, every threshold is intentional. These homes don't distract, they center. They provide the stage for life to unfold, quietly and with elegance. As we look forward, the most luxurious homes won't be the most elaborate, but the most meaningful. Through minimal means, we create maximum elegance. It's a future where design serves life, not ego. And in this quiet, refined simplicity, we rediscover what luxury was always meant to be.